Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am sitting here grinning. Oh, the reason I'm wearing these is I can't find my earmuffs and it's cold. No, it's just because it keeps my head from exploding. Um, I have been listening, for those of you who don't know this site, it's a good one, rosecitytransit.org. Rosecitytransit.org, and I learned about them via Al the pal out there. How you doing, man? Uh, Very nice article that you wrote. But what I want to get to is what they do is they put up Trimet scanner stuff. There's also a Trimet scanner on Twitter, and gosh, the one thing that hits me is that uh, Trimet is not prepared for it. And before I go on, I gotta say, I'm giving a shout out and a hello, how are you? My kudos, salute you, I love you, man, to dispatch and control. Amazing. Angel, you still there? Oh, I heard Angel's voice. Oh, cool, cool. Um, Everything from trains running backwards without permission to reroutes that were not clear. We've all been there. But the thing is this has happened before. How many times? Numerous times. And a lot of us have, been around TriMet for many years and have seen it happen year after year after year. I finally had to stop because my sides were literally, my ribs were starting to hurt me, when the last one was to take whatever bus they were driving and take it to the end of the Max line at Cleveland. And the response came back, where's Cleveland? Uh, anyway, how do I get to Cleveland? Which goes back to a night I was on the extra board and dispatch told the driver that I was having a problem with the bus and they were not a center driver to take the bus to center. I'm sorry. And they said, where is center? I swear on a stack of pancakes. Can't make this stuff up, man. If you listen to TriMet on the scanner, you know it's pretty funny. And quite frankly, road soups, I don't know how you don't pee in your pants sometimes from laughing, man. Anyway, the point is that TriMess is try mucking it up again. It's like there is no training at all for any emergency or how to do a reroute, how to speak succinctly on the radio, how to give information in a comprehensible manner to the dispatch/controller so they know what the fuck is going on. They don't have eyes. They can't see it. I am amazed at the absolute failure of the transportation department, not my union brothers and sisters, supervisor trainers, but management, is that they don't facilitate a plan to train drivers how to handle an emergency situation. Now, every emergency is different and it costs a lot of money to do that. I know that. And there ain't a lot to go around because McFarlane needs another raise. But seriously, one of my neighbors didn't even get the alert that there was no service on Mount Tabor on the 15. And then another 15 driver is not a 15 driver. I don't know what the hell they were. They're probably from Merlo, and they didn't know where they were, but they got too close to downtown. They're saying, do you want me to turn where the McDonald's is on Burnside? And the dispatcher very calmly replied, I don't know where McDonald's is. Now, there are perhaps a lot of us out here, we can do the whole system with our eyes closed and know where all the stops are and stuff. I don't expect that of everybody. But I did know a few people, myself included, that can do that at TriMet. And I sat with a lot of road supervisors and training supervisors that can sit there with their eyes closed and know every frickin' stop that there was. but there's no plan. There's no training. It's like it used to be, 30 years ago. Hey, here's a pouch. There's a bus. Go out and drive. Something really has to be done about it. I mean, trains backing up without permission? And switches failing everywhere after how many gazillions they just spent on the updates? It's time for an oversight board for Trimet. It's time for the board of directors to be elected. My union brothers and sisters, before I go, I want to say one thing to you. I didn't go out in this weather. Excuse me. I had a really good dinner. Thai food. Love it. I want to say this to you. You've done one hell of a job, considering that the leadership that should have been there wasn't. And I'm not talking about you guys out there. I'm not talking about the white shirts. I'm not talking about controllers and dispatchers. The direction is supposed to come from the top. You know the old saying in the army, poop rolls downhill. Well, this time it really did once again. And once again, people want to expand Max. What a sense of humor. How many thousands and thousands and thousands of people will be delayed because they still have no idea how to run the train set? I just got off of Twitter, and people are standing out there, and I'm not talking just at the airport, but they're at the stations in between, Cascade and all that, the IKEA stops. They're out there, and it's cold and it's wet. You know that. No train. Can't get by. Whatever it is. I know there's some train out there that's having a problem. Another train was stuck in between. I'm off platform. No, you're in the middle between two platforms. Off platform. I'm stuck in the middle, man. But it was really nice hearing the way dispatch handled it. When I was at center, and particularly when I was on the extra board, and when dispatch was at center, I spent a lot of time hanging out in there. And excuse me for 1 second. Yeah. And I learned a lot. I got a really good education, and I always will thank Wally, and I'll always thank Grant and everybody else who was sitting there, because I got to see what the real deal was. And I drove the extra board, and I had that radio in my hand, and I was just like blown away. So the time has come for things to change, because apparently the management team, which is the same team that screwed up on the last snow and ice, just really has to go. Because not only did thousands of people and all the lost work hours, but probably people are going to catch colds and get sick. And no, I'm not whining for them. But certainly, and I don't expect exact frequent service, but every time a train stops and every time they take buses out of service so that they can shuttle passengers who are stuck on Max, that means there's less service for bus riders. Boing. Time for it to stop. It's time for the board of directors to be elected. It is time for McFarlane and his ilk to go exit stage left. And it's also time for an oversight board for Trimet. Anyway, that's it from here in the marvelous Emerald City out here on the east side. Have a marvelous weekend. May it be safe, and have a good holiday season.